Everyone's heard that you're supposed to turn the other cheek, but I think people disregard the two verses after that that are as important, if not more important than that verse. So let's get into this, starting in verse 38 in Matthew chapter 5. You have heard the law says that punishment must match the injury, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say, do not resist an evil person. If someone slaps you on the right cheek, offer the other cheek also. If you are sued in court and your shirt is taken from you, give your coat too. And if a soldier demands that you carry his gear for a mile, carry it 2 miles. Give to those who ask and don't turn away from those who want to borrow. See, he wasn't just saying that if someone does something evil to you, don't pay it back. He was also saying, do good to them. He was saying, bless them. It's what he says right here in verse 43. You have heard the law says, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say, love your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you. In that way, you will be acting as true children of your Father in heaven. For he gives the sunlight to both evil and the good. He sends his rain on the just and unjust alike. See, Jesus wasn't just saying to love your enemies, and if someone slaps you in the face, just to go, okay, well, I'm not going to do anything back to you. He was saying, grace them. He was saying, literally, run them over with a grace train. If someone makes you run 2 miles, you're going to run 1 mile. If someone makes you run 1 mile, you're going to run 2 miles. If someone takes your shirt, you're going to offer your coat as well. You are going to run them over with a grace train. And he was teaching that out of Proverbs 25. Starting in verse 21, he says, it's actually here in Romans 12 as well. It says, if your enemies are hungry, feed them. If they are thirsty, give them something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals of shame on their heads. That was the idea. You're going to be so gracious to them that it will heap burning coals of shame on their head. Go down one verse in Romans chapter 12. Don't let evil conquer you, but conquer evil by doing good. See, I've heard people tell me that just turning the other cheek doesn't work on this earth. And that's because they forgot to read the next 2 verses. That it's not just turning the other cheek. It is going the extra mile when someone spits in your face. It's becoming even more gracious. And that is something that is extremely hard to do, to bless those who persecute you. That is an extremely grueling calling, because your first immediate reaction is to get angry and immediately try and pay them back. And that's where it comes in so important to say, I have to deny myself and I'm going to bless you. Because in that moment, people see the grace of God and it can lead to repentance. So when someone literally spits in your face, give them a meal. I have a good example of this. There's a guy at work that I've noticed keeps using my chair. I'm on night shift, and I noticed when I went in the other day that someone used my chair, and I can't stand that because I don't like people using my stuff when I'm not around. I don't mind you coming to me and asking me, but I don't want you using my chair. And I realized I could either find out who this is, lock my chair up and get mad at him and report him, or I could go the extra mile and buy this guy a chair. Now, will I do that? We'll see. That's going to take a lot of strength for me to do. But it's a good starting point. Anyways, I pray that this message really reached y'all, and that instead of actually seeking revenge, that you not only don't seek revenge, but you seek grace. Anyways, y'all have a blessed rest of y'all's week.